Howdy, and welcome to the round table for Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross.
Kiri Hester.
Johnny Payne.
Connor Shenold.
Brooke Bullock.
Ada Cross.
Kim Cross.
And we are talking about episodes 48 through 50. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, it was awkward because we were not in the recording space we are in now. We were in a different recording space. And so, be honest with me, guys, how bad could you tell?
I mean, so listening back, the first episode for the first like 30 seconds or so, I was like, oh gosh. And then it got pretty chill. And then in episode 50, you could hear it because we were moving around the table so much.
Yeah.
Like passing maps around, leaning over and stuff like that. You could tell that we weren't in our regular space. So like normally in this space, if I move away from my microphone, you can't really hear me. But in that space, you still could. Yeah. So even though I was whispering to Kim or to you, you could still kind of hear it.
Yeah, there were some actual moments when you were handing out that handout that we're getting. Normally, I would put in sound of paper and stuff, but that actually fit really well, so I didn't actually have to.
Hear that, Brooke? We can start making our own sound effects.
No, but one of the sound effects I did use was there were dice that were shaking inside of Beatrix's pocket that we're going to use, and Kimberly started shaking the dice that were given to her. And so I actually took that out and used that. So there was the actual dice that we used are those dice that you're shaking in front of your microphone.
You are welcome.
Those are her real SDA dice.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So we go with episode 47. So what happened?
Aster.
Yes.
Yes.
You all met.
We had an episode of Maury right there in the manor.
You did.
There's a 99.6% chance, so your father is.
But it's like real sad because he doesn't remember anything and stuff. So
I was really heartbroken writing that, but I was like, I got to do it. There's got to be way more drama than you guys can handle in this manner.
Well, it was drama enough finding out that she had a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Aster, that I guess is a flower.
It's a flower.
I didn't actually know that.
It's a very pretty, kind of looks similar to a daisy, actually.
Oh, did someone do research?
Maybe.
What a deal.
Well, Connie, you've always been pretty strong about making sure that your characters all kind of have
there's uniformity.
the similar Bishop, Rook. They're named after chess pieces and.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like that kind of structure, I guess, to my naming schemes. And I really think names in fantasy in particular hold a lot of weight. And so, like, once you actually come up with the perfect name for your character, like, everything just falls into place for that
100%.
character.
And then there are people like me who just like, Billy
Kevin.
the possum. That's a really good joke. I had a barbarian named Kevin.
Jonathan. Just really generic names.
My hair is Jarnathan.
Jarnathan. I was actually thinking about naming a barbarian berserker, name him Azerker, because why would you want to be Berserker? You want the Azerker.
Wow.
I just kind of had that thought the other day, so I was trying to like,
but
I
then
definitely gotta like that character.
on the other side of that, when you know you have a DM that does that, then you start picking apart things, right?
You start figuring it out.
That was Rondura Green's name being Rondura Green. That was my first like, this is Clue.
Yeah.
Yes.
And between that and Abdul Lazuli, which I know is purpley bluey, I was like, is this Clue? And then you start trying to find things, and that's not always a thing, or it's not the thing you expected. So like Duke Orobas. O-R-O in Spanish means gold. And so I was like, is it because he's rich? Is it because what's the thing here? And so sometimes there's not always a thing. Sometimes it's just what their name is.
Yes. Or when they happen to be a certain skin tone playing chess and it's not a thing.
You're saying gold, and I'm starting to like wanting to watch for like anyone whose name is an element, and then look up the letter of the element and see how you scramble it. Now you're in my head.
So I will say, in regards to why I came up with the name Orobos for the Duke, I found somewhere that boss means misfortune. And then Just kind of went with it.
The Kobold Union's going to have fun with that. Yeah. I like it.
I don't remember where I looked that up, so I can't back up my research, unfortunately.
I mean, it makes sense. So Brie is Scots Gaelic for
cheese.
A disturbance. No. A great disturbance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's similar sounds, and so it's probably, European language. I was talking to... we did a lot of work with words in my English classes this week, talking about like, what does prejudice mean? Well, what is pre and then judge?
Dun, dun, dun.
And I remember other words we talked about, but yeah, it was a similar thing. And I was like, yeah, sometimes, guys, words are math.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were going to say magic.
Don't you dare say words are math.
Friendship is magic. Words are math. And that's exactly why when you watch a spelling bee, they'll always ask, "What's the root? Can you use that in a sense? What does it mean?" Because especially what's the root? Where does it come from?
Yeah,
it
matters.
Like in my Greek mythology class, we have to talk about all the time when ch is followed by a vowel, it makes the k sound. It's not Chirion, it's Chiron.
Which, as a reader and not a listener, when I was young, it was quite a while before. I mean, I was still pre-teen or early teen, but it was quite a while before I knew that it wasn't a chimera, it was a chimera. Because I had never known that rule about Greek. And then when I found it, I was like, wait, these words are different.
That's how I felt about the band In Excess when I kept seeing it as Inks.
Well, I'm disappointed that my favorite cereal isn't Cheerios.
Cheerios. I still think it's the Boston Celtics.
It 100% should be the Boston Celtics.
It should be the Boston Celtics. All right. So episode 47.
Oh, yeah, we do a D&D podcast. I remember now.
Yep. We go into the servants' quarters. We talk to Aster. We learn about General Colane. It's real sad. We promise to try to help him. She says, don't promise for me. Promise because it's good for him. She's lived her whole life not knowing that he's her dad, and she feels really bad for him and doesn't want to make it worse. Then we proceed to absolutely violate people's privacy and start snooping in Whitaker's room.
Not only their room and their personal belongings, their memories. If you're gonna go.
We went full pensieve. We had help.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have permission to be snooping around the manor, so might as well snoop as much as you can.
We have a badge.
I want to know more about this. Tell me more about your thought process behind creating these memories in everyone's rooms.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you. So I wanted to introduce more information about these characters other than you just sitting and talking to them. And so I came up with several different iterations of how to go about that before I actually stuck on memories. Because at first I was kind of thinking that, you guys would just hop somewhere else and somehow they're trapped there and you got to rescue them. But it ended up not fitting with the murder mystery theme that I kind of wanted to go with. And so I just was like, okay, well, it'd be kind of cool if, as they're searching around the rest of the manor, some of the rooms actually provide them with memories of this is who this character is, this is what they've gone through, and this is how it kind of ties into most of what's happening right now.
Right, and one of the things I love about it is you bring it right in, is people learn better by actually doing something. And so we could talk to the show. We could talk to the kobold and say, "Hey, what is it? When did you do this? When did you do this?" But actually being there and experiencing it means it is more in our brains.
Yes, and words are hard.
They're like math.
Math. Very much like math.
I just listened to this etymology podcast that Carrie hosts.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm just saying history of the English language was a surprisingly interesting class that I had to take in college.
But yeah, so, and then also you guys get past them trying to lie to you in most cases. Because as you experienced a little bit later in Rondura's memory, she thinks you're someone completely different.
Right.
Ooh. We'll get to that.
Yeah, well, and I thought that was interesting because we were like, okay, but this is just a memory, so we have no way of changing anything. But there's not 6 people talking. Well, was there 6 people at the table? Was it us? I don't know. As Johnny, as Johnny said, it's like this is like a.
The clue that we got, and we aren't sure if it's from that memory or a different memory. It was that Lady J and Oribos both thought we looked familiar when they first met us, and so that was like a little thing. But we don't know if it's from Whitaker's memory. That obviously Lady J wasn't in that one. We don't know if it's from a different memory or
a future memory when we run into there's a whole
future us came back and
or the fact that she sucked Jaska's brain and now has moments of those memories in her doppelgangery head, although not a doppelganger.
Not a doppelganger.
What do I know about doppelgangers? Just say I don't know.
You just know it's not that.
Just say it's not important. Okay, it's not important.
I mean, if you really want to go that route, I can give you something, but it's not pertinent to anything.
It's the problem is the fact that we have 6 people at this table who are all trying to figure this thing out. And everybody's got their own opinions and own thoughts about what they're bringing to the table.
It's like a real party.
Yeah.
I do know that the metagame part of me knows from our dice rolls that there's more to the diary. There's more info to the diary than we found. Yeah. But at the time, it was like, I don't remember. Roll the 5, roll the 3, roll. It was like
Johnny was like 1 off from matching that DC that he needed.
Oh.
And there's more of these dice too that we're throwing into the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're gonna talk about all that on the other side, because there's so much more to talk about. We have several more episodes to get through, and if you want to listen to that, well, then you got to become a patron. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. How do they do that?
They can go to patreon.com/reddirtdnd and join up at whatever level best suits them. If you want all the content all the time, go way up. A free Patreon t-shirts just came out for our silver and above. And that's their second t-shirt that they've gotten delivered right to their hot little hands. There's other gifts and things that come out courtesy of the Kobold Union, putting and packing that stuff all away. So hopefully you receive some of those gifts. You get episodes early on Sundays instead of Wednesdays, ad-free. It's just a really good deal. Everywhere from $5 all the way up to whatever lottery money you want to give us.
That's right. And it's and the great thing of what this does is, just to let you know, is the money that goes to helping us go out to events, to things like SoonerCon, to TokenCon, all these things, and that way we can go out and share the message of Red Dirt D&D to other people, so that they can become part, because this thing is growing, and it's because of you, the regular listener, as well as our fans, that we've reached 100,000 downloads. Woo! Which is just amazing, and we keep on growing, and we are so excited. So we want to keep doing this more and more, and we've got more things in the works with things like the Wayfinder Legends is coming up. We've got another YouTube show hopefully coming up soon. So, and we keep going on with, I keep wanting to call it Secrets of Monster Island, with the Red Dirt Outlaws and with Mysteries of Beatrix. So this show is growing, and it's going to be amazing.
And we have a fun thing we're doing in 2024 for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, that is
Dungeons and Dragons that there'll be some Patreon exclusives for that too. You want to check out.
It's gonna be so much fun. 50th anniversary of D&D coming up in a few months.
I was there.
I was also alive. I didn't start playing until a few years later.
I don't think any of us were actually playing when it first came out.
I wasn't alive yet.
I wasn't either.
Because of course it took a while for it to get all the way down to Oklahoma.
This is true.
And then once it finally got down to Oklahoma, then it got banned.
When we flip over to the other side, I want to talk about how it took a while to get to Oklahoma. Flip us over, Michael.
Okay, so thank you very much. Go ahead and become a Patreon member right now. Patreon.com/RedDirtDnD. We're going to go to the long version of the roundtable right now.